You were running 38 degrees of timing.
Camera pointed towards me. I can feel it. I can feel it.
All right, what are we doing?
Today we're doing my Acra exhaust. I've had 3 attempts at getting this right between different clamps, doing the H pipe, which is not an H pipe, and getting rid of this piece of crap exhaust, whatever it is, because it's leaking and I don't like the sound. So Akrapovic, Akrapovic exhaust going on today. Finally.
What are you gonna do about that other O2?
What other O2?
Yeah, what are the O2? Hey, the good news is this makes it easy for install, huh?
Yeah. Fuck the EPA.
Wait. What if they watch my channel?
All our cars are smog legal. We only install catalytic exhausts here, only carb approved. So exhausts like AEM, Motec.
Everything's carb legal. Everything's carb legal.
Yeah, everything's carb legal. We actually take turbos out of M4s to make them more efficient. So EPA, if you're watching.
Yeah, it just so happens that I have an LLC in Montana. It just so happens as of today.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So Spencer will finally have a full Acra setup on his car, so we're super excited to hear this thing on his car. I've heard this exhaust already, but I'm more so excited to see your reaction and how you like it, as well as the smell, the sound, the performance, all that stuff.
Well, I think this will be like the first real high quality exhaust I've had where it's like motorsport focus. It's not so much of just like, you know, the loudest sound you can get. So I'm excited to feel it and hopefully not smell it too much, because it's high flow cat.
You won't smell it, for sure. But here's the crazy thing, guys. Spencer has owned now 3 E90Xs. Right, and I've known him since his first one, and now this is going to be his very first one that's going to be tuned.
Oh, you know what? I just realized that. This has been my first video ever having a tune on a car.
Correct.
On an E9X.
Well, you had a tune before with the Super Carb.
I had a VF.
But this will be his
one,
first tuned S65 that's NA.
That's true. That's true. I think a great video title too.
It is. So I thought about that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
We've never had the opportunity to tune his car because all the changes that we've done. And then finally, this is going to be the NA version where it's going to be tuned. Finally.
Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm excited to see how it feels and give like a reference point of how different it is.
Yep. So I think once we're done, drive the car.
Without a tune.
Without a tune, because you'll have a check engine light because you don't have the secondary O2s plugged in.
Okay.
It'll be functional, it'll still drive.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna kick you into limp mode because it's not your primary O2s that are unplugged.
Okay.
So it still should work.
So I could technically drive it for a bit without the tune.
Well, I would say drive it around the block.
Oh, okay.
See how you feel about it, and then tune it right after, because then at least you have an instant, reaction of the difference.
Okay.
Because you will be going to high flow cats, which is gonna drive pretty much like how you drove. It felt before, but it's just different. The sound and weight, and that's about it.
Okay.
Then you'll do the tune, and then we'll really know how well it is. Because the nice thing too is, like, I own a E90 M3, and I tuned my car, so I can't give you an honest comparison because I tuned mine pretty much right after I got the car.
Yeah.
So for you, you've owned 3 now, so you know how these feel, how these drive.
So I could have a good baseline where I know where the car sits, and then once we start doing stuff to it, now with the tune, I'll be able to feel like, okay, a little more throttle response, it feels different. So
or feels like more top end gain, more bottom end gain, whatever it is, you'll know.
Yeah.
You of all people should know the best.
I hope so.
So this is amazing because he'll know for sure how much of a gain it is. For me, I feel like the tune did nothing, 0. Why? Because I always drive fast cars.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I always thought it was slow, tuned or not, E85 or not.
I pay attention to as much as I can to every detail. So this, as of today, this is my 19th exhaust. So the next one will be number 20, whoever knows what that is. This is number 19.
I think this is it. I think this is the final form. It's it's like Pokemon.
Headers, bro.
But that's different. That's not an exhaust.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's still headers.
Okay.
Headers is headers. That's completely different. Well, we're talking about exhaust setups where, like, people can, bolt on and change out themselves.
True.
So this will be the final form. It's like Charizard first edition here.
final evolve.
Yeah.
That's it.
So scale 1 through 10, how excited are you right now?
I'm like a 7.5 to an 8. I'm just ready to finally have like this dream exhaust.
Yeah.
Because this is pretty serious. Like, this is the best exhaust you can get, where even like people like Matt Mormon from Assess Garage was like, oh, it's too quiet, which I get. but I want it to be quieter because I want induction noise.
Yeah, well, also, like, I think because you've already experienced the loud exhaust sound,
I've had IPE,
that you're
everything.
over it.
Yeah.
You know, you're just over it, and you just want something more tame that you can drive, be comfortable. And on top of that, you also can't compare because we're in California. Okay,
Yeah.
we are in California.
True.
We live in Costa Mesa, right?
Yep.
Down the street from Newport Beach and Irvine. We're right between. If you guys don't know the area, Newport is south and Irvine's east from where we are right now. We could literally drive from where we are standing right now, less than half a mile south.
Every direction.
Yeah, we'll be in Newport.
Yeah.
We go half a mile. Actually, we go north. That's Irvine.
Over the bridge.
Yeah, that's
Right there.
Irvine.
Right
So
there.
Irvine and Newport is extremely strict on loud cars. That's where I got my fix-it ticket.
A lot of cops.
A lot,
Yeah.
like zero tolerance
I've been
whatsoever.
state reffed in Irvine. I've been pulled over 7 times here in Newport.
Yep.
Just off Jamboree.
Yeah,
It's usually
exactly.
once a month. And
Exactly.
this being quiet, I'm like, okay, I can feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and the nice thing is too, like people say it's quiet, it is, but when you get on it, they're loud. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter what exhaust system you have, whether it's stock, test pipes, whatever it is. You get on it, you rev it out, it becomes loud.
Yeah.
For sure.
And most of the time, I would do a loud exhaust because I wanted to like get attention.
Yep.
I wanted to be like, everyone look at me. That's
Yeah.
how I was when I was like 22, 29 now, dude. Like I wanted to be quiet, but in the cabin, I want to be able to enjoy induction sound and the V8. And I think this does it. I rode in Brett Slicer's car and a couple other people that run this setup. This Acra exhaust paired with any carbon plenum and intake, the best motorsport Nürburgring sound you can get.
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to aim for, because I've never experienced it as an owner, only as a passenger. So I want to give my opinion now on, you know, everything from $300 test pipes and OEM exhaust mod up to this $8,000 exhaust,
Yeah.
whatever this is.
I
you
think it's
know?
more. I think it's more than 8,000.
God, dude, yeah. So I'm trying to learn as I go and experiment with everything.
Yeah, so it's nice too because now you get to try the final exhaust that we think that is going to be the, you know, best exhaust that you want,
I think so,
that
yeah.
accommodates your needs, as well as I think a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as we get older, we want things quieter. You know, I think if you weren't daily driving this car, it'll be a different story.
Totally.
But it's because you drive this car and you daily, you don't care about the mileage. That's what sets it apart.
Yeah,
And there's people who don't drive their cars and they drive it on the weekend. Sure, they want it loud. But for you, you want to drive it every single day.
I need
It
to
does
be
not
tame.
make sense.
Yeah, I don't
like
need it to be super loud.
0. For me, with my M3, it's loud because it's not my daily.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. You know, so it's different. But there are times where I drive it, I'm like, dude, this thing is ridiculous.
Yeah. I remember when I had, I won't say the name, I had an exhaust 4 years ago, and I
Yep.
was embarrassed when I would downshift. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, this is way too much,
Dude,
bro.
when you downshift right next to somebody and you're trying to even on the freeway, you're trying to speed up, you
Yeah.
downshift, you're like, sorry.
It's so, I mean, your car, when we went to the canyons,
Yeah.
my left ear was hurting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that, I mean, it sounds cool, but I don't want that right now.
Yeah.
So for this setup, I'm excited to kind of give an honest feedback on it.
Yeah.
Where it's mine.
Yep.
You know, I can explain it.
Yeah. For me, like, obviously you know my plans with the car. So for me, the exhaust system is currently, you know, temporary.
Yeah.
Things are going to change. It will change. So for me, like, it won't stay loud forever.
Well, I think the more you drive it, the more you're like, oh, I enjoy induction sound, or I
Yeah.
enjoy the tone of this, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just personal preference.
Exactly. So like, you can't hate on it. At the end of the day, this is Spencer's car. This is Spencer's dream setup. He's going to get it. You know, everything that he wants, this is it. So I'm excited to see your reaction with exhaust as well as the tune.
Yeah.
Because you've never experienced one high flow cats. This is the first one ever. So for years and years that I've known Spencer, he's always complained about the smell.
Always,
right?
dude.
Always,
Every time.
every time.
Every single time.
And every time I'm always like, I think you need high flow cats.
I have done straight pipes. I've done exhaust at everything has always smelled.
Yeah.
But then when I go away from the smell, I lose performance.
Yep.
So that's what I
Yeah.
have cats in it. I want high flow cats.
Exactly. So this is it. This is Spencer's perfect exhaust for his car. And then now, just to get it tuned, your reaction on that as well.
I'm excited. I hope. It's funny. Everyone was like, "Dude, stop posting E90s. You're making the value go up so much." I'm like, I enjoy these cars tremendously. I can't help myself.
There's a reason why you got 3 of them.
So now that I have the Acra system, I'm assuming their sales may go up a little bit. Just a tad.
Just a tad.
We'll see. We'll find out.
We'll find out, Spencer. So this is time. It's time.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I think so. Let me see. It's not going to be as dramatic because the other ones were so loud, but I'm curious to see how it is with this one.
So that's what you think.
Are my keys in it? Is it gonna be loud, you think? Oh.
All right.
Oh.
So tame, quiet, and when it revs up, it's louder. All right, let's ring it out.
Yeah. That's the sound I was looking for. That's every car at Nürburgring.
And then smell it. It's not horrible. You can smell it. Does it burn your eyes like crazy?
It was not how it is when it's catless.
Yeah.
This is actually much better.
See? Under load.
Dude.
All right, Spencer. So what did we just do?
So we did Acra exhaust. It's on the car. Now we have to do the tune, but you have some explaining to do for your video about what you just told me.
Yeah, so we're
I'm
gonna
surprised.
have two. I guess we're gonna explain it on both our channels in our videos, right?
So you should explain it for your channel and explain in detail, and then mine will do like a nutshell.
Yeah,
explanation.
but how do you feel about this?
I don't know, man. I mean, buying a used car, you just don't know. You never know what you're gonna get, and you said my engine was about to pop because it was that bad. He's gonna explain it to you guys, but the degree's super far off. Tuned for E85, and I was running 91 for 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
and you knew too from the get-go. You're like, the car didn't drive right.
it felt weird, man. Out of all the M3s I've had, it felt very strange. So that probably explains why it was acting like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I'll explain it to you guys. So Alex over at Alpine ended up tuning the car. So we already finished the tune, but he wanted to pull up the old tune just to see what it was tuned, how it was tuned, what it was tuned for, what, you know, just curiosity, right? Because it's nice to just see, like, you know, what it was, how it was running, what was done to it before. Now, anytime you buy a used car, you don't know what's been done to it. We've seen this happen so many times where people bring cars to us where they bring it here and they're like, oh yeah, you know, like the car doesn't pass MOG or it's misfiring, stuff like that. And we find out that it's been tuned. Spencer's car, on the other hand, he bought the car, never drove right. He always said that it drove kind of weird. So we plug it in, tune the car, pull the old file out, and then he reads the file. Turns out the car was actually tuned for E85. Spencer's been running 91. 91
For 2,000 miles.
2,000 miles
Fuck.
on an E85 tune.
So you're just saying it's just dumping a lot of fuel.
Dumping a lot. So with E85, it requires 30% more energy. So that means you're going to dump 30% more fuel into the engine. The second thing is, when you're tuned for E85, the reason why you go with E85 is because you have more aggressive timing. The reason for that is because it doesn't detonate as easy as 91. So you upgrade to E85 to have a cleaner burn and combustion. And then you have more additional timing, so you gain more power. You're running 38 degrees of timing. That's ridiculous.
What's
like
basic?
I've tuned N54s and they get up to like 15 degrees. I'm like, all right, we're done. That's it. 38 degrees. That's insane.
That sounds terrible. I don't know how that works, but it sounds bad.
It's bad. I mean, that's more than double what I would ever tune a car.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Kennedy, I was like, our cars would never see that number, ever. Never.
So if I would have gone to the track, I would have popped my
Yes.
motor.
So I was just telling Spencer, if you took this as a track with that original tune, that motor would have been done. It would have shot a rod, like instantly. Drive it hard enough, get it hot enough, and especially on a hot day, it will detonate and it will shoot a rod. Your old tunes were destroyed too because of that.
So
it's insane.
So when you buy a car that has 49,000 miles,
or just
and
pre-owned, just pre-owned.
Pre-owned in general, and 5 owners, there's probably going to be a story behind it, no
Yep.
matter what. So always get your tune checked.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Don't push the car until you plug it in and look at what it has.
Yeah,
Because I would not
exactly.
be down to blow an S65.
No,
at all.
especially now with the market, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
even
wanna
hard
deal
to
with that,
find.
dude. So
I'm glad we figured it out and, you know, we fixed it all and the car's gonna drive great now.
yeah, I don't have to worry about that, man. Holy shit.
So now you really notice the difference of how it drives.
Because like I said, when I got in the car and drove it, there was like that happy, excited, adrenaline feeling.
Yep.
And then after a couple of days, I started driving around. I'm like, this car doesn't feel normal. And I was thinking it's like, oh, it has the weird exhaust on it. And then I kept driving. I'm like, this car feels so strange. That probably explains it.
Explains everything.
I think that's it.
Exactly. So guys, please make sure to check your car. Make sure that it's not tuned. when you buy a car. Just first things first, buy the car. Make sure you take it to a shop or hit up somebody that can actually flash it back to stock. Even BMW can actually update your DME and revert it back to stock. Just make sure you start off on a fresh start, always. So I got a couple parts for my car that if you guys saw on my Instagram, I actually just got this in. I have a couple more parts, actually not a couple, I have a lot more parts coming in for my build, for the E90 M3 build. But I got a Haltech cluster, so I'm gonna 3D print a bezel for this to mount onto the OEM location. So it'll be really simple and clean. I won't be running the OEM cluster anymore. And then I got, actually I ordered a Haltech standalone too, but I couldn't ship that here to California. So that's coming in, I'll have it sometime next week actually. Then I got a Turbo Smart wastegate. So for those of you guys watching, this should tell you guys, this should be a huge clue to what I'm doing. Why do you need a wastegate? So this is a 50mm wastegate. One of the biggest wastegates you can potentially get on the market. And then over here next to this is my upgraded fuel pump. And the reason why I did an upgraded fuel pump is so that I can go with E85 and make more power, because the stock pump is not sufficient. So this is actually out of a, this is made for a N54 335 or 135. This is actually going to replace my fuel sending unit completely. So we'll have this paired up with the OEM pump on the opposing side, but this will replace the fuel sending side of my car. So this has dual Warbles 525s, so they're pretty massive. So I hope that you guys have a huge clue on what I'm doing now that you guys are able to see my parts coming in slowly, one by one. And you know, I already posted up on my Instagram of my motor that's going inside the car. So a lot of you guys are still thinking that it's, you know, this motor, that motor. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Once I get all the parts in, I'm gonna announce it very, very soon. You guys might hate me for it. You guys might love me for it, but it's gonna be a wild build. It's gonna make at least 900 wheel horsepower, period. That's, it must. I don't care what it takes. We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna break it. We're gonna make it. And I don't care if I have to keep spending money, but we're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna do it. So that's pretty much for today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I did get more parts and just wanted to update you guys on that, plus show you guys, you know, Spencer's reaction on getting a tune on his car, especially because he never had a tune before. Plus, please make sure check the tune, guys. All right, as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video or enjoy my videos in general, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below what kind of video you guys want to see. Besides that, that's pretty much it for today. Peace out, guys.